Hello, this is Mish, and welcome to this review of X-Morph Defense. So this is a 15-minute review. So I'll just jump into the gameplay and I'll show you what it's all about. Just before I start, this game does have a talent system where you can see here we have specific talents for the vehicle we're in, for the towers, different types of towers, and different abilities for our base. So just bear that in mind as something of note. Okay, so here we are in the game. So start sequence, every level seems to have one. Interesting point as well that we are the bad guys, we are the aliens invading Earth, which is a good spin on something. It's quite original. You don't often see that. You're normally Earthlings defending Earth, of course. Now the thing is, I just want to mention regards to this 15-minute review, every game is going to be different, obviously. So every game has a learning curve. This one has a learning curve which required a tutorial, so I have done the tutorial level. So I'll still base this review on my 15-minute format, but we'll just bear in mind that I have done the first level of a tutorial. Okay, so the 15-minute time has begun from now. So I'll tell you a little bit about it as we go. So this game is a kind of combination of a top-down shooter and a tower defense game. So as you can see here, this is our main base, the vehicle I'm in, obviously. So with this vehicle we can shoot, we'll do a couple other things, and we can also go into edit mode and we can put towers down. So obviously these are the locations the creep's going to come in on. So let's put a tower here and shape the direction that they will go. So we can very easily, there we go, put two towers down and block that location. So we now have shaped the creeps have to go this way. So another ability which I've just learned with this is if I go button number 4, which is a bomb I have. So with the basic weapons you have a basic attack, which is left mouse, and if you hold right you power it up. So with this bomb, you got the basic bomb, but I can also power this up to hopefully, let's try this. Destructible buildings, destructible environment. So now that has blocked, yes, it worked. So that has blocked that path. So that's pretty cool. I quite like that addition of using the environment to your advantage. Okay, so now let's put another couple towers here to send the creeps on the longest way possible. Another one there. And let's again add the, there we go. So that's nice. And we've got a couple more. Bottom left is how much resources we have. So let's, where the lanes join, let's chuck a couple towers there just for maximum damage. Okay, so I think we're good, and let's get this party started. So we can see bottom right there, that map gives the indication of the location of the creeps. So let's fire some bombs down there. Oh, and every now and again we're going to get Air Force come in as well, which is a bit of a random event, which is quite nice. It breaks it up because it just implies you're never kind of safe. And I'll show this ability with this main weapon. It's very nice, but you also, the power up is amazing because it can do a line. It's pretty cool. The weaponry feels nice in this. Sounds nice as well. It really has a good impact. Well, it feels like it has good impact. Okay. Another point of note as well is my vehicle can be destroyed. It doesn't matter. I will respawn. It's all about the base. So if my base gets destroyed, it's game over. But my vehicle can't get destroyed. Hiding behind, using the terrain there, the building to hide behind. This weapon is interesting as well. I'm not sure if I particularly like it, so I can't control the height. But as soon as I go over something, there as you can see, it automatically adjusts my height for that vehicle. I don't know if I actually do appreciate that so much. I'd rather be able to choose the height I want to shoot. It just feels very automatic. My bomb doesn't do that. The bomb actually does. You do choose the location it's going to land, which is what I like. Just something to bear in mind if that is a pet peeve of yours. There's some more Air Force coming in. There we take those out nice and quick. There we go. Floor is not under attack. Let's nuke these for good luck. There we go. So we have another lane opened up here. So let's change that location that they're going to go. So let's obviously put that there and another tower there. Hopefully that's enough to block that. Yes, it is. You can actually put towers on top of buildings as well. It doesn't seem to have that much advantage. It would be nice if you did that and actually cause them to have a larger shoot radius, a larger or more damage or something like that. It doesn't seem to work like that, but this seems to be the same size. Doesn't yeah, it looks to be the same size, and there's no obvious indication of that. Okay, let's get this next round started. So they're gonna come top left again. Right down the guts. Another one. So it's an interesting combination between the top-down and the tower defense game. Is it, you know, does it benefit either? I think it does. It has a nice synergy between the two. But there's always going to be something which suffers, I believe, because of the complexity of trying to control it all. And I think if anything, it leans more towards the top-down as opposed to a tower defense. Regards complexity and the amount of work you've got to do. Because as you can see, there's only one tower at the moment. There's only one type of tower I'm dealing with. Sure, I'm sculpting the route of the creeps, but in saying that, with the power-up abilities I showed you before, there seems to be 4 different types of towers you can get. So that's going to be good, but then that still isn't a prodigious amount by any stretch of the imagination. You know, other tower games have massive amounts of towers, so really to be able to sculpt how you want to use them. This doesn't seem to have that, but then obviously you got the addition of the vehicle here, the weaponry, and the abilities that this has. So it definitely does, you know, work well. But if you're wanting a heavy, complicated tower defense game, I don't think this is going to be what you want. If you're wanting a fun tower defense game with elements of top-down, I think this is probably got you sorted. Amount of content, I mean, once again, this is a 15-minute review, so I'm not going to go in depth into that type of stuff because I don't have a visibility on that. But I did the initial tutorial. It took me about 20 minutes, and this level here, you know, it's probably looking to be the same. We're doing a wave every 3 to 4 minutes, so you know, maybe looking at 25 minutes, something like that for this level. I mean, obviously it depends how you want to do it, but there seems to be, I think, about 15 different zones. So you know, there's a fair amount of time that you can sink into this game with the single player campaign. There's also a multiplayer local co-op, so only split screen by the look of it. So I definitely appreciate that, but the thing is, I think a game like this would really benefit from a co-op which is a multiplayer across the internet, or maybe even a versus mode. Local co-op is good, of course, but the thing is, I would much prefer having the functionality of a versus mode, or you know, some other gameplay types. You know, having a big match for four players playing at the same time, something like that would be pretty cool. So let's obviously chuck a bit of stuff up here so we get started with this next round. Try and see if there's any boss type creeps in this one. There we go. Okay, so you know, very intuitive system. Quite nice how it works there. Let's chuck a tower there to get the try and cover all bases. Actually, I probably should have put on top of there. You can sell them as well, which is nice. Okay, let's kick it off. Price wise, this game is currently on sale, and it's probably just under the $20 mark in the US. I mean, it's I wouldn't say that's expensive because it's obviously not. But the thing is, you could probably get other games, other tower defense games, which are more complicated around the tower defense for that. But this is definitely something to look at because it is fun. I mean, visually it looks amazing. The sound's good. The aliens are cool as well. I quite like the aliens. They seem very Michael Bay Transformer type aliens. So if you like the Michael Bay Transformer movies, unfortunately I don't. You know, I mean, this could be something you wanna look at for that, because the sound effects, the voice acting, the visual design, all look, you know, it's very new age Transformers. Their power-up weapons are amazing. I missed that line there, but getting a, you know, it's satisfying getting that line of tanks like that. Trying to make sure we don't get hit by those things. Down the line. Okay, so it does stop eventually, but just do a bit of damage with a nuke. There we go. No, I missed that one again. Down the guts. There we go. That's good. Another one. Hiding behind the terrain is good as well. It's a necessity, especially for the bosses by the look of it. They have abilities which you need to avoid, so you can hide behind the terrain. Okay, so that was around the 15-minute mark. I had a few goes. I had an incident where the game crashed, so I played it a little bit more. And I did see as well a couple of other reviews mentioned that their game crashed a few times as well. But, you know, that could just be a little bug that needs to be ironed out. But overall, how did I find this game? So it's definitely a unique design. So the tower defense merged with the shooter. I mean, there's other games like this which have done it, but more of a first-person style or a third-person style. So the kind of top-down shooter is a nice twist on this, on the tower defense. But I think it leans more towards the shooter at the moment. With the early stages that I've done, it was more based around the shooter and the shooter's abilities as opposed to the tower and having a various type of towers. I mean, it's very cool to sculpt the direction the creeps are coming into the lanes with putting towers there, and the destructible buildings are awesome. But yeah, it just seems that it might need more variety on the towers over time. It might get a bit repetitive, but there are a few. So destructible environments are very cool. The aliens are very cool as well. I quite like them. I did get a heavy vibe of the Transformers, as I mentioned. So just the audio, the voice acting, all sound very Michael Bay Transformers. So if you're a particular fan of those movies, there might be something that you appreciate. It has a split screen co-op. I definitely think that's appreciated, but not so much for myself, and obviously not for everyone. I think it would have been better invested if they were to spend some time getting a multiplayer going over a network or over the internet. I think that would be more appreciated overall for a larger audience. The story campaign, you know, it seems to be pretty good. There's a story there, but it seems obviously I can't invest too much time into it with this 15-minute review. But all in all, visually, I think this game it looks really good. It's got high quality assets. The explosions are nice. The destructible buildings are very cool. So I think visually it looks good. Audio is good as well. The voice acting seems okay. The sound of the weaponry in the vehicles, it's very impactful. It is quite nice. It definitely gives you a feeling of power when you're in that vehicle. There's a few possibly negative components here. People that love tower defense games probably aren't going to find this that engaging because of the lack of depth with the towers. But I still think that for an average game you want to jump into, I think this has got a large appeal. I think it's fun. You know, once again, it's got many good points to it. Is it a little bit expensive? Possibly. It is on sale at the moment, so I put 10% off. It's got an appeal, definitely appeal, but I think it's not in depth enough. It doesn't seem to have the depth that I would want from a tower defense game for replayability. I would probably just clock it with the campaign mode and then be done, as I would want to see what happened in the end. Very interesting, the fact that you're playing as the aliens as opposed to the humans. That's quite a nice spin. Very positive, but there's just a few things there, not for everybody. If you just want a little casual top-down tower defense like game, then this might be something you want to pick up. Just that kind of caveat around if you're a big fan of tower defense games, maybe you want to just say, okay, there's more complicated ones that are going to provide me more time, better value for money, because I know what I want. Maybe you want to look at those. So I hope this has actually helped you decide to purchase or not. So I'll leave this little review here. Let me know how you found it. Was it of value to you? Always appreciate your feedback. Thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe for future content from me here. And until next time, this is Mesh, and I'll see you later.